Never could there have been such a setting for a major sporting event. The Pyramids at Giza, a breathtaking backdrop for the world's top squash players as they bring the high-tech PSA Super Series to the African continent for the first time. The Ahram International. The event really captured the imagination of the Egyptians, who are now breaking back into the top world rankings. In the first round held at Cairo Stadium, a victorious return for England's Simon Park, who had been recovering from chemotherapy treatment for cancer. He beat Egyptian wildcard entry Karim El Mistikawi in straight games.
I've had over two months now to get back in training. I think that I'll probably hopefully be 100% by the Hong Kong Open in September. But here I just want to enjoy myself and see what happens. I don't feel under any pressure.
World number 18 Stephen Meads from England broke a few hearts as he beat the Egyptian team captain Amir Waghi in a tough 4 games. For Waghi, the pressure of a nation's expectations got too much, and he received a conduct warning as Meads marched on to the second round. Further frustration for Egyptian fans as Jansher Khan managed a straight games victory against Ahmed Barada, the 18-year-old world number 35, finding the Pakistani in devastating form. By now, the local supporters were looking rather glum. But cometh the hour, cometh the man. Ahmed Barada, the golden boy of Egyptian sport, had his fanatical following against Argentina's Federico Uzandizaga, and Barada raised the spirits with a 3-1 win, so guaranteeing an Egyptian player in the last 16. The only shock in the first round was the exit of Mark Challoner, the world number 8, beaten 15-13 in the 5th by fellow Englishman Danny Meddings. During their stay, the players were afforded the warmest Egyptian hospitality and treated to traditional entertainment on a night cruise along the River Nile. The second round on the outdoor Perspex court at Giza. Simon Park continued his run, beating Irishman Derek Ryan 17-15, 15-11, 15-7 to reach the quarter-final, and a match against world number 1 Jansher Khan, who had beaten Australia's Craig Rowland 3-1 in a tough encounter. The whole of Egypt came to a standstill to watch Ahmed Barada take on Danny Meddings of England. Barada, ranked 29 in the world, was obviously feeling the pressure before the match. But once he got on court, he soon settled and played a very mature game. The 15-10, 15-5, 15-5 scoreline showing his increased confidence. And his reward, a first ever appearance in a Super Series quarter-final.
It's great for me to win one of these matches and go to the quarter-final for the first time of my life. And I'm very happy because I'm playing in front of the crowd, the Egyptian crowd, and I'm very happy about this, and I'm trying to go to the semi-final tomorrow.
The quarter-finals, and for 4th seed Peter Nicol, the opportunity to make amends after crashing out of the British Open in the first round. The Scot, after losing the first game, fought back to secure a semi-final place with some deft drops, and Mark Cairns left to rue his bright start as the left-hander took the match by 3-1.
It was a bit blustery on there. It's strange for a squash court to be windy, but because we're outside on top of a sort of hill, the ball was slowing up at different parts of the court and speeding up towards the front, so it was a bit difficult to get used to. But then once I got used to it, I thought I was in control.
Nicol's semi-final opponent would be Jansher Khan, the world champion, taking only 43 minutes to see off Simon Park's challenge. In an entertaining match, the final point turned into controversy as the referee was not sure on the drop shot. Jansher convinced it was down, Park unsure. The ball eventually called down for Khan to win it 3-love. The world number 1 far from happy with the delay.
Simon playing last point in that going to 10, middle of the 10, and I just appealing to the referee, and he says right, and then I asked to Salmon, I said, and he just said, I'm just waiting for his decision, and I asked to referee again, and he said, no, it's right, and then I asked to again, Salmon, he said, no, it's 10, and as I think it's very easy, to, playing 10, middle of the 10, and referee can't see this ball,
Rodney Isles did not know what had hit him as Ahmed Barada came out all guns a-blazing. The world number 2 found himself 2 games to love down in only 28 minutes. Barada oozing confidence and his daredevil shot-making gaining the initiative. The third saw both players exchange words, forcing a stern warning from referee Jack Allen.
Gentlemen, please play. Carry on. 6-3. Gentlemen, I want no more comments by either of you to each other. Stop, please. If you have any comments to make, you will address them to me or the referee. I want to hear no more comments from either of you. Play the game of squash the way it should be played, please.
We'll join play later in the game. Commentators Simon Clark and Alan Wilkins.
So the referee, Jack Allen, who's a policeman in Ulster, has certainly laid the ground rules for the rest of this contest, and I think it really is the frustration that the Australian Rodney Isles, world number 2, is feeling here against this wonder athlete from Egypt, Ahmed Barada. Crowd is behind the home man, and Isles has been nothing but frustrated. Simon, this is a man who can take pressure, but he's feeling it in there, isn't he?
Yeah, definitely. The home supporters are really getting behind Ahmed and really making a lot of noise and making it difficult for Rodney to concentrate.
Isles it is with serve. 2-love is down, and he's going to have to produce something special to retrieve it from here. Great range of shots from the 19-year-old Egyptian, and he really has given this home crowd something to shout about. Fabulous setting here. It's a little bit cool with the daytime heat having left us, but there's plenty of heat in that court, I can assure you.
12-13.
I must say this is the best I've seen Ahmed play in any tournament before. This is an inspired performance.
Yes, lad. Yes, lad.
Well, it looks polite the way he's talking to the referee. I think both players would be on best behaviour after the lecture that Jack Allen gave them. There's just no way that the players could respond with any more verbal, and now it really is down to action. Rodney Isles, we've seen him in so many titanic struggles, but he's had one here.
Yeah, both players are getting in the way a little bit here, but not saying much now that Jack has laid down the law.
This is the world number 2 playing a man who's 27 places below him in the world rankings. Barada, world number 29.
Oh, that's a great shot. Anticipation was perfect there from Mr. Barada. Rodney's under pressure in the back corner, and but Ahmed's covering every angle and just slots the ball into the net there.
So that fantastic shot has now brought Barada match ball in this quarter-final. What an upset this would be for this tournament. What a great fillip for the crowd. Making Isles wait, making him suffer. 1 point to go through for a semi-final, his first ever appearance in a semi-final for Barada.
Yes, let.
And he gets the let.
More tension for the crowd there, as Rodney just gets a little bit in the way again.
Match ball.
He's strong, compact, and he has a tenacious attitude, just right for the game.
Yes, let. 14-12. Match ball.
Still match ball to the Egyptian Ahmed Barada. It's down. There is the winner in 3 games. Rodney Isles is out of the tournament, and this Wonder Boy, the sensation, wins it with the shot going down.
That's an excellent performance from Ahmed, you know. So much pressure, Rodney just couldn't deal with it in the end. That's very well played from Ahmed Barada.
This is the great time of my life to beat Rodney Isles, number 2 in the world. And I'm very happy about this. And first I began it by winning the World Under 19. And then I got the semi-final in Ahram Open. I'm trying to go to the top 10 to the ranking. And I'm very happy about my performance. And I'm trying to win tomorrow in front of the crowd here and Egyptian people.
The 4th quarter-final saw England's Chris Walker beat 3rd seed Brett Martin. The Australian strangely subdued as Walker grasped the initiative to gain a straight games win. Having beaten Isles in Bombay and now Martin in Cairo, the outdoor courts obviously suiting him.
I beat Rodney in India, and that was an outdoor court as well. And now here to get the other Australian, Brett, I was really pleased with my performance, and I don't know, I seem to be playing well outside.
The logistical task of turning arid desert into a veritable oasis of sport was one the Championship Organising Committee approached with relish. This venue had captured the headlines around the world, and like their predecessors 5,000 years ago with the pyramids, no problem was insurmountable.
It's about 2,000 square meters. We have about 2,000 square meters of tiles. We used about 4 million gallons of water for the dust to be stable. Hundreds of workers. It's about maybe 200, 300 people worked in that. The army people, contracting companies, many men responsible here for the district here. From it's the culture ministry, the tourism ministry, the sports and youth ministry. It's Al Ahram's idea to put in a place that translate the meaning of Al Ahram as a newspaper and as a foundation mainly, and of course this is the main symbol for Egypt.
It was like desert 2 months ago. We started working just 2 months. A lot of employees, a lot of personnel doing it. Military, maybe hundreds. I don't have the statistic for that, but we're talking about hundreds that set all this together to see this wonderful court over the desert, just on side of the pyramids. I think it's amazing. It's unbelievable. If you see the floor, there is maybe millions of pieces of stone that we put it together all together to see this amazing arena for the court. The problem was the wind, but I think we solved this problem. You see the wires, we're holding the court very, very hard now, and it's no problem at all. The only problem was the wind. I think we solved it, and we solved it very good.
Well, everybody is happy and crazy about Barada. He's winning, and we hope he wins again, and we hope he will even win the championship. We hope.
The first semi-final, Jansher Khan and Peter Nicol. Khan's path relatively straightforward, although Craig Rowland pushed hard in the second round. The world champion, happy that Barada is taking all the headlines, looks ominously relaxed as he prepares for possibly another title to add to his long list. Left-hander Peter Nicol has beaten 3 Englishmen to reach this stage, the only blip on the graph dropping the first game against Mark Cairns. After crashing out of the British Open in the first round, Nicol is delighted with his return to form.
Against Jansher, you've just got to be extremely tight. You got to try as hard as you can to play your own game, because he will enforce his one on you because he's so good. But basically just give him no space at all, and try and not let him control the game, because if you do that, he will, and he'll play extremely good squash. You got to hassle him, hurry him, and I'll try and play my own game.
Well, I play with him many times, and I will try to play my, state game, and when I have a chance to play the volleys, and because I improved a lot of my volleys, and I will try to, I win tomorrow.
We'll join the third game, Khan having won the first 2, 15-11, 15-9. Commentators Simon Park and Alan Wilkins.
Well, I suppose you could say this is something of the supporting act to the main stage, with all the crowd going berserk over the win by Ahmed Barada. And Jansher Khan quite happy to take his place in this tournament. Of course, he's the undisputed world champion, man who's pushing the great record of Jahangir Khan. And the question goes on, is he the greatest who's ever played this game? How you answer it, I'm not sure, but this is Peter Nicol's chance against Jansher Khan. And Peter Nicol has a mountain, you might say a pyramid, in front of him.
That's a perfect length there from Jansher, and Peter's not going to ask for a let there.
Deep down in the recesses of Peter Nicol's mind, of course, will be that great win a couple of years ago in Cardiff, in the Leeds British Open. Jansher, I'm sure, wouldn't have forgotten that. But this is a completely different set of circumstances, and Jansher is once again focused on the job at hand.
It's not many players have got very far against the great man, but Peter Nicol has had the most success of most of the players.
One of the few events that Jansher Khan was not competing in was the Mahindra Challenge in Bombay, which this man, Peter Nicol, won. It was the latter part of 1995 when he beat Chris Walker in the final. So he knows how to win a tournament. The formula is there, but it's a different set of cards when you're playing this man, the world champion Khan.
Yeah, Peter's saying he stopped there and he's looking for a stroke, but Jansher has got other ideas.
Yes, lad. Nicol point.
And the referee's saying it's only a let ball.
Jansher Khan, having taken the first 2 games, 15-11, 15-9, and leading the slender lead in this third.
5-10.
Cross court from the left-hander. But the easy movement from the world #1 must be so difficult to play against, Simon.
Yeah, I've had quite a bit of experience of playing Jansher, and he just seems to casually contain his opponents, which is what he seems to be doing here. And with that shot there, he just times everything so well.
Great length here from Jansher into the nick. So what's the secret? Is there a formula? Is there a way of getting to this man, of upsetting the psyche?
Well, each player has different theories, but I think you have to try and change the rhythm as much as possible, which Peter did there in a lovely fashion. Yeah, he played a very nice drop after moving him around the court. But it's a question of keeping that up for the whole match.
Easier said than done, but there's a glimpse of light, if you like, for Peter Nicol. 11-6 he trails in the third.
Yes, lad.
Jansher was looking for a stroke there.
Yes, lad.
But it's remained a let ball.
Yes, lad.
game has seemingly played at a 3/4 pace.
Right side, 6-11.
Net given here. Jansher has his own style about backing away from the ball after he's played the shot. Once he plays some of the Australians, of course, it becomes a different story altogether.
That's right. Sometimes players get frustrated because they feel he doesn't clear the ball enough.
Now movement!
But he feels he does everything by the book.
12-7.
Well, the Jansher Khan book is working here, and the eyes of the camera very much on the world champion. The winner of 7 Super Series events last year, and really he just gets better and better. Khan serving, leading 12-7 in the 3rd game. This wonderful location for a squash tournament. I'm sure that if there aren't any pleasant memories inside the court, there must be a few more outside it. One of the more memorable tournaments on the circuit, the Ahram International.
It's an unbelievable venue for any sport.
Jansher looking fairly untroubled by this experience. Peter Nicol up against it, and even more so now. Jansher Khan then with match ball against Peter Nicol of Scotland, and finishes on a stroke. So the world #1, the world champion Jansher Khan beats Peter Nicol of Scotland quite comfortably by 3 games to none.
Yeah, Jansher's got Peter in the back corner. Peter's forced to play a loose shot, and that's game and match for Jansher.
My name is Ahmed Barada. I live and I born in Cairo, Egypt, and I'm 19 years old.
Ahmed Barada reaches his first ever high-tech PSA Super Series semi-final. But there's more to the young Egyptian than meets the eye.
My sister was playing squash, and also my father, and start playing with them. First I was playing football, soccer, and then I changed and I play squash when I was 9 years old in Maadi Club in Cairo, Egypt. There's a lot of juniors in Egypt, like Faizi, Shabana, Mistikawi, and Karim Darwish, and there's a lot of good players. And they're playing the World Under-19 in Cairo here in July, next July, and I hope them good luck, and I hope to win the Egyptian team to win this tournament again. My coach Abbas Qaoud helped me a lot, and I go and train in London with some players, and I live with him in London, and there's a lot, and he helps me a lot, and everybody here in Egypt tries to help me. And when you see these people come behind you and support you, like Egyptian people and the crowd, and about 3,000, and the people in front of the TV supporting me and the newspaper, so I'm a little bit afraid, and but it gives me power when I play, and they give me good power. want to be number one in the world, and I'm trying to be number one, and I'm training so hard now, and I hope to be number one.
Ahmed Barada has been swept along on a roller coaster of emotion. His quarter-final victory against Rodney Isles, the shock result of the year so far. A player who fears no one will be ready to lift his game again against Chris Walker. Chris Walker had to pull out all the stops to come back and beat Jonathan Power in the second round. But his win against Brett Martin showed that the left-hander does have plenty of talent when he applies himself. Walker, a losing finalist in Bombay, is eager to play on the big stage again, but is under no illusion of the task ahead.
It's going to be a very tough match, and I'm just going to recover from this evening's match and wake up in the morning fresh and ready to prepare for, one of the biggest matches of my career. So I'm really fired up for it and looking forward to it, but by no means going to be easy.
I'm trying to play a long game with him, and I'm trying to win in front of the crowd here, the Egyptian people, and I'll do all my best, and we'll see tomorrow.
To the first game, and it could not be closer.
So this wonderful contest is semi-final with seemingly all of Egypt watching. The young man with the headband, the red headband, the right-hander, Ahmed Barada, the wonder boy of Egyptian squash, and really the man responsible for the resurgence of the game in this country. And talks of the form of the first great champion, Amir Bey, and then more latterly, Mahdi Saad, Ahmed Safwad and Gamal Awad. And the name of Barada will surely be on a few trophies in the years to come.
There's a loose shot from Chris there, and a deserved straight for Ahmed. He's put Chris under pressure and forced a loose shot. That looks like a straight.
Level and 1 point lead to the Egyptian in this opening game.
Yeah, definitely a let ball there. It was a good shot, but he didn't clear the ball at all.
Well, Barada is not slow to vent his feelings. We can still hear him on court, and he will be very aware of the crowd that's supporting him in there as well. They say just 1,200 watch this tournament. I'd say it's a figure more like 2,000.
Controversial decision there. I would have given a let ball, but Chris will tell me off for saying that. It was a tight drop shot and probably a close one.
Referee is an Englishman, Graham Horrocks. Have his work cut out with this particular match. The winner of this, of course, goes through to the final, and that man will play Jansher Khan.
Right side.
The Egyptian there, I think, from Ahmed.
Not sure if Mr. Horrocks knows too much Egyptian. New cross-court shot from Barada. Good length as well.
Yeah, Chris took the ball early there and played a very good backhand volley. So that was a good decision. Ahmed just not quite ready there for that serve. And now trying to take the point.
A little bit of professionalism there from the youngster. Shows a good, wise, experienced head on young shoulders. That was pretty good from him. Slowed it down.
Each player's getting in the other's way a little bit here. I think it'd be nice to see them both clearing a bit more.
A lashing smash on the forehand from Barada. And listen to the crowd. A wonderful shot that left Walker completely flat-footed. Barada serving. Good length from Walker. And a nice touch as well on the forehand. Every point has been disputed here.
Yeah, it's very tense between the two players on now.
Down.
that's a bad mistake from Ahmed.
And
Oh.
14-13
Funny little
game
move
on.
there from Chris. I don't know what he was trying to say.
Walker has game point in this opening game. Good retrieve from in front of the court. Barada is controlling this rally. A lot of movement on court between the two players. Contrast the style of someone like Jansher Khan, who moves so easily to the ball. A lot of contact as well.
Back there, but Ahmed was looking for a stroke and Chris is off the court.
Well, Chris Walker knows it. Walker has won the opening game, 15-13. And this is how he won it.
Yeah, Ahmed's not happy with that at all. He was showing that he could take it on the volley and was looking for a stroke. The ball nicked and the referee gave a no-let.
On to the second, where Barada has just got his nose in front.
Great chance for the Egyptian to level this match.
This is a lovely shot from Ahmed, quite a difficult one, high on the backhand, but he put it away beautifully.
Good length from Barada, and that forehand wall for him.
Yeah, he was just turning on the ball there, and most referees tend to give a let ball for that.
Took it early, made Walker really stretch for that. Oh yes, great disguise from Walker and matched, more than matched by Barada. Barada with game point in the second. Listen to this crowd.
Yeah, they're getting right behind Ahmed there. It was a lovely little flick to send Chris the wrong way. All of Barada's fans there in the crowd.
The referee's fighting a losing battle here, asking the crowd to be quiet. Conflict of interest, I think. Barada doesn't want them to be quiet. He wants that support. He wants them to shout. Too eager. Wanted to finish it.
Yeah, a mistimed volley there completely. He hit the frame of that, actually.
Contact. Off the back wall from Barada.
Chris wants a let there. The ball came straight to him, and he's off the court. And he's not letting Ahmed off the court.
A little bit of sportsmanship and gamesmanship mixed up, I think, but whatever. It's Barada who's won the second game, and the match, the semi-final, is square at 1 game all.
Barada took the third 17-14 and Walker the fourth 15-9. The Cairo crowd now on the edge of their seats in the deciding fifth game. Both players willing to give everything to reach the Ahram final.
Sort of a plaintive appeal from Chris Walker. The script for this match couldn't have been written any better. The fairy tale ending, of course, would be for Barada to win it. They've been on court, coming up to the 2-hour mark now. Mercifully, of course, they don't play in the daytime here. It'd be far too warm on court, and of course you wouldn't be able to see the ball, but shouting again from Barada. My word, he does get excited, doesn't he?
Yeah, the decision was originally a let, but it was overruled as a stroke in Chris's favour, which explains the outburst from Ahmed just then.
In terms of tennis, if McEnroe shouted like that on court, he'd get a ticking off from the referee, but this seems to be the sports psychologist's ploy. Vent your feelings. And Barada does plenty of that.
Yeah, I think that was a good decision there. Chris plays quite a good drop shot, but not good enough for it to be a no-let.
Oh, it's a fine shot. Not sure if the let will be given here.
I don't think so. It was a very good volley there from Ahmed, and it hit the net, and it's not been given.
Now the crowd is sensing it here, and Barada is milking this for whatever he can. I'm not sure what that means, sir. I think it means come on, Ahmed. We're in the fifth. It's been a fabulous struggle, this. Great to watch.
The ball came round the side wall and Chris turned and asked for a let. I think that was a fair decision. Purely for safety, if nothing else.
But what you have to say is that this man, Barada, just 19 years of age, is good for the game. This tournament is good for squash. It needs atmospheres like this. It needs tournaments. Power in the backhand from Barada, whipping across court. Matched also by Walker. Oh yes, the boast was good.
Yeah, Chris wants to let there, and I think that's a fair decision. It was a good shot, but Ahmed was slightly in the way there.
There must be about 2,000 referees around this court. The most fabulous setting for a squash tournament, this Ahram International. And centre stage is this man, Ahmed Barada. Rest assured that the sponsors will be cheering for this man, writing columns and columns of him in the paper. As Barada takes match ball.
And I'm sure that rally will be written about. He anticipated perfectly, and there's a shot of the wonderful pyramids just in front of the court.
It can't be a better setting for a squash tournament. Can't be a better winner for this particular match. But try telling Chris Walker that. Try telling Chris Walker he must submit to the Egyptian. No way. 2,000 Egyptians go quiet. Barada serves for the match.
Feel the tension.
Barada thinks he's got it. Yes, he has. Amazing scenes here. Absolutely amazing scenes, and a nice gesture from Chris Walker.
That's unbelievable stuff. A brilliant finish there from Ahmed. A perfect backhand drop shot. He plays a nice lob. Forces Chris to bounce the ball. And there's the coup de grace.
It's unbelievable. The 19-year-old Egyptian plays the world champion Jansher Khan in the final.
of the Ahram International at Giza. For Egypt, the dream final. World champion Jansher Khan against the world junior champion and local hero Ahmed Barada. But the crowd was subdued as Khan took only 12 minutes to wrap up the first game 15-4. Barada, though, has regathered and is mounting the fight back in the second. Commentary, Simon Clark and Alan Wilkins.
Well, this is a different story now for Barada, and he has to completely reset the mental apparatus. Gone is the emotion from that semi-final against Chris Walker, the Englishman, but how much did that take it out of him physically and, of course, mentally?
I think that after a match like that, when it's the first time for such a young player, then he's going to find it very difficult against such a player as Jansher.
And Jansher employing the tactic that has seen him through so many wins in his fabulous career. He doesn't get rattled, although more recently we have seen him saying a few more things to the judge. Oh, lovely pickup from Jansher, and again, close work here. Beautiful racket work from Jansher Khan.
Yeah, Jansher thinks that ball was down. Ahmed was giving it the fist there, so he must have thought it was good.
And now 11-13.
So Barada wins a key point. Jansher and this man who's really set Egyptian squash alight. World squash.
Yeah, that's a simple let there for Ahmed. Jansher hadn't quite cleared. Very creditable performance in the second game from Barada.
Just quality work, this is from Jansher Khan, and look at the power of that forehand. And then the exquisite touch. And that's down from Barada.
And now 14-11.
And notice the crowd. Listen to this crowd, you can hardly hear it.
Yeah, Jansher just changed the direction of his wrist there, and it was too good for Barada.
Game ball then to Jansher Khan.
And that's down.
And that's it. 2 games to love to Jansher in this one-sided final. The Egyptian crowd is silent.
Yeah, that's a bad mistake from Ahmed, straight off the serve.
The third looks to be going Khan's way as we rejoin the final.
Well, something fairly extraordinary has to happen in there now for Jansher Khan not to win this Ahram title. But whatever happens, and the inevitable looks as if it will happen, then this man, Ahmed Barada, has certainly made his mark. And other players in the world will take note, notably Rodney Isles, the Australian, the world #2, who he knocked out in the quarter-final. And Barada will surely, from his world ranking of 29, go into the top 10 after this tournament. Fabulous achievement. This is the world #1. The world champion, Jansher Khan. No way.
Very cool finish there from Jansher. He's just got Ahmed under a lot of pressure.
And what's been a disappointment for this big crowd, this one-sided final coming to the end with Jansher on match ball. Delayed momentarily. What a setting, what a stage. And it's been confirmed that there will be another Ahram tournament next year. And goodness knows, I think they'll have to increase the capacity for the spectators.
I'm sure they will, and I'm sure it'll be to see Ahmed Barada work wonders as he has done in this year's tournament.
Serving with match ball against him.
Yes, let. Yes, let. 8-14, match ball.
An uncharacteristic cross-court nick attempted cross-court nick from Jansher there off the serve. Trying to get it over with as quickly as possible, but it ended in a let.
That's it. Jansher Khan holds his arms aloft. Jansher beats the local boy Barada 3 games to love. A one-sided final. The Jansher Khan, world champion, is the Ahram International champion.
By 3 games to love, 15-4, 15-11, 15-8.
Runner-up, Ahmed Barada. He'll be back next year. What a wonderful week for him. But the 1996 Ahram International champion is Jansher Khan.
I think he have a tough match yesterday against Chris Walker, you know, and I just make him slow, you know, because he's quite young and he's fit, you know, and I'm trying to put him in slow, you know, in slow position, and I just playing length and a lot of lobs, you know, and for that he doing a lot of mistakes.
I think I'll be top 10 or top 15, and I was number 29, and then I jumped this right from me, and I'm very happy about this.
Well, the way he's playing this week, you know, is burning, you know, and his performance, especially in this event, he beat world number 2 and more other top players, you know. And I think he's quite young and he have a time. If he more do hard work in the future and concentrate, I'm sure he will be improved a lot.
So, Barada, at 19 years old, although finishing runner-up, showing the world that he is now a force to be reckoned with. For Jansher Khan, another high-tech PSA Super Series title. In the land of the pharaohs, Khan is king.